station, WDWL TV, broadcasting live from Studio A, located on Grumpy Old Man Road. It's the Grumpy Old Man. Oh, me, and the Grumpy Vulture Show. Take your bow. Oh, graceful. Yeah, nice job. Now, back in your corner. I said, back in your corner. It's not the Grumpy Vulture Show. You're as bad as the teens today. All right, there. Look. I even give you a good camera shot. As you can see, technically challenged Grumpy discovered how to put intro music in Studio B using Studio A's tablet. Well, it wasn't that hard. I discovered on the back of this microphone is an input plug. And when I looked at the adjustments on the front, the center adjusting knob says instruments. So I'm thinking, if I could hook up an instrument, why couldn't I hook up the tablet? I did a little experimenting this afternoon, and it worked. I was like, holy yatchafuck. Technically challenged Grumpy actually was able to do something without having to ask a 5-year-old. Yes, my old LG tablet, which unfortunately soon is going to need a replacement because the battery no longer holds a full charge. Now, it will be at 100%, and it's no sooner on for 5 minutes, and it's dropped down to 60. And you can always tell when a battery is kind of reaching the end of its life when it's kind of bowed. Yeah, the tablet has kind of a bow in it. So I know the battery is taking a shit, unfortunately. Although, I really can't complain because this tablet, I found the paperwork. This tablet is almost 16 years old. Yeah, I was shocked. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I don't know how I got so much life out of it, but I'm not complaining. Of course, I really don't want to spend the money to buy a new one. But I have to. Because sooner or later, this thing's going to take a total shit, and I will lose all my music. That's another thing I have to try to figure out. How to get all the music out of this tablet. I don't think it's going to be easy. And I'm very technically challenged, so. And see, the free music websites where I got all this music don't exist anymore. Yeah. Pardon me. As a matter of fact, the one The one music website got sued and they lost. Oh! Although I'll tell you what, I downloaded a shitload of music off that website. Including my intro. If anything, that's the only thing I really want to get off the tablet is my intro music. So, Grumpy's going to be trying to figuring out how to extract the music. I'm hoping possibly I could transfer it all to the SD card. I got to figure that out. I have an SD card in a tablet. If I can take and transfer the music onto the SD card, then voila! I don't have to worry about my music. But that's for a later time. But it was extremely nice to be able to take and have an intro. I'm gently trying to get the tablet out of the way here. Go on. Turn off. So, I'll tell you, folks, I don't know what this world is coming to. I really don't. I accidentally started watching a new body cam channel. Not one that I followed. Never knew it existed until today. And I am a subscriber. This body cam channel, about 90% of it is videos of teens. And I'll tell you what, if any of these kids were mine, I'd be beating the fuck out of them. And I wouldn't care about CPS. There'd be bruises over many parts of their bodies. I never in my life saw such disrespectful goddamn asshole kids in my life. And this is our future generation. Thank God, by the time these teens reach an age where they're in their late 20s, early 30s, they will have patted me in the face with a shovel a long while ago. Oh my God. And I take and place 100% of the blame on the parents. Because these kids just didn't wake up and become fucking disrespectful assholes. No, they got it from their parents. Let me see what else they got. The first one was a 17-year-old girl who stuffed $400 worth of makeup into her backpack. When she was approached as she was trying to exit the store by the police, not loss prevention, the police, who identified themselves, and they were in full uniform. She knew they were police officers. They told her they wanted to look in her backpack. So the officer reached out and grabbed her by the wrist. left arm. Grabbed her by the left arm and attempted to start removing the backpack. What does she do? Does she comply? No. She pepper sprayed both officers. Oh yeah, she had it in her pocket. Pulled it out, blasted the two, and started running through the store. Well, she ended up getting away. The officer, there were 4 officers. 2 that were trying to subdue her, and 2 that were just coming in the door. So, of course, the 2 officers that got pepper sprayed in the face, they're incapacitated right now. The other 2 officers start to chase her through the store. Well, she was a little bit faster than them. She got out in the parking lot, got into her car, and took off. Well, luckily, both of the officers that were chasing her got the car description and the license number. It didn't take too long before she was spotted. And then a pursuit over 100 miles an hour through neighborhood streets with kids playing all over. Well, she didn't realize that she turned down a dead end. So she jumps the curb and proceeds through this field. Well, the field ended up into a pond. Luckily, she stopped the car before it went in the pond. By the time she got out of the car, police officers detained her. When asked why she pepper sprayed the 2 officers. Now, we know that 99% of law enforcement wears body cams, okay? She makes up this story. Oh, the officers, they were manhandling me and punching me and slapping me. No. The body cam showed one officer gently grabbing her wrist, not grabbing her and slamming her to the pavement. He reached out and grabbed her wrist. And the other officer was attempting to remove the backpack. Nobody beat her up. Nobody manhandled her. Well, she made up this big story, you know. I can't believe a 17-year-old would have the fucking nerve to pepper spray 2 police officers when she's trying to steal $400 worth of makeup. Jesus Christ. Then there was, and I mean, we're talking kids from both ends of the spectrum. Fancy, big, expensive, you know, hoity-toity neighborhoods to projects. A whole mix. And I'll tell you what, some of these rich kids were more fucking belligerent to law enforcement than some of the kids that they came in contact with in the projects. You know, the rich kids, they think they're entitled. Oh, you can't arrest me. I'm rich. My parents are rich. they'll have your badge. Yeah, I'm so sick and tired of hearing that too. Oh, you put your hands on me. I'm a teenager. My parents will have your badge and your retirement by the time they get done suing you. I haven't seen any officer lose his retirement over attempting an arrest on a teenager. And foul mouthed, oh my God. You know, back in the day, when I was a teen, the thought of telling an officer to go fuck himself never entered this cranium. Oh, no. Although back in the day, things were a lot different. If you told an officer to go fuck himself, he beat the fuck out of you. Then he took you home to your parents, who in turn took turns beating the fuck out of you. When Dad got tired, it was a tag team. Mom took over and kicked the shit out of you. And when Mom got tired and Dad was rested, he finished the job. Not today. Unfortunately. In a way, we need some of that 50s, 60s, 70s law enforcement to return. And these kids wouldn't be the motherfuckers that they are today. Pardon my language, but oh my God. I was appalled at what I was watching. And like I say, I blame the parents. These kids, it didn't just drop out of the blue and hit them in the head. Oh, I'll tell a police officer to go fuck himself. I'll pepper spray him. I'll fight with him. Oh, there were several that kicked the shit out of police car back seats. Matter of fact, there were 3 that literally broke the screen or the bars on the window and then broke the glass. Utterly disgusting. I actually couldn't stop. I watched about 30 videos. And the more I watched, the sicker I got. I was literally getting sick to my stomach watching this younger generation, how disrespectful they are to authority. Not just law enforcement. Oh, they had some videos in schools. One teacher told a student to stop disrupting the class. He jumped up and beat the fuck out of her. He literally beat the shit out of a teacher. Back when I was in school, you didn't even think about talking back to a teacher. Oh no, this kid jumped right up and literally went up and beat the shit out of this teacher for telling him to stop disrupting the class. Oh my God. It's sickening. It was sickening to watch. This is the generation that is going to turn into, our future councilmen, mayors, congressmen, senators, public officials. Oh my God, what's this world going to be like? And you figure, 10 years, 17, 27 is when kids basically start getting into politics. It's scary. And like I said, the thing that really kind of shocked me was kids in the projects actually had a little bit more respect for law enforcement. Not a lot. Not a lot. Because, the crowd starts to form and eggs the kids on. But in the beginning, when the officers came up to these two kids to identify them, that's all they were doing. They weren't going to detain them. They weren't going to arrest them. They wanted their identity. And they actually started to identify themselves until the crowd formed. And then it was like, fuck the police, don't tell them anything, fuck the police, So then the kids stopped. Oh, we're not going to say anymore. Utterly gut-wrenching to watch how these kids are turning out. And like I say, I place the blame on the parents. Because when they were young, the parents are their role model. They learned it from their parents. And it was like, well, gee, if mom and dad got away with it, we can do it. Sickening. I never in my life, I've seen it around here. During the summer, I told you, when I was up at the plaza, and there were kids skateboarding in the middle of the parking lot. And all the police told them was to go to the back of the lot. They didn't throw them out. They said, hey, go in the back where there's no traffic. Oh, the fuck yous came out and, pig. Every vile, disgusting thing they could call those police officers who were being nice. Because I was getting in my truck and I heard it. I witnessed it. The car rolled up and the officer on the right side of the vehicle put his window down and said, hey guys, move to the back where there isn't a lot of traffic. Fuck you, pig! Oh, I want to walk over there and beat the fuck out of all of them. Of course, in turn, I got the fuck beat out of me. But yeah, it would be different if the police got out of the car and, threatened to arrest them. No. All he did was say, hey, guys, go in the back of the plaza where there's not a lot of traffic. Oh, fuck you, pig. You can't tell us what to do. Along with many other vile, disgusting things they could say. I wanted to go over to the police and apologize and say, oh my God, I really feel bad for you guys having this job today. It's not like it was when I was growing up. We respected all forms of first responders, although they weren't called that back in my day. They were policemen, firemen. And at that time, we didn't have EMS. So, you didn't have EMTs and ambulance service. Mainly the police did what they called a throw and go. They would load a guy onto a stretcher if it was a station wagon. If it wasn't, if somebody needed transport to hospital, they'd throw him in the back seat and go. Or wait for fire rescue. Then, they formed the EMS, and the city got its own ambulances, and the police, and didn't have to worry about it anymore. But you didn't dare even think about talking back to a police officer. Although, like I say, it was a different time. Police could get away with kicking the fuck out of you. Because basically, if the police took you home to your parents, you were going to get it twice as bad. So, you didn't run and call Child Protective Services. Oh, no. And see, that's another thing. Where the kids basically have their parents hostage. Because they preach it in the school. Oh, if your parents are out of line and you're being, severely treated in your home, call CPS, report them. If there was a CPS, which there was, back in my day, yeah, there was a form of it. It wasn't like today. But they preach it in the school. Oh, if your parents are beating you. Now, there was a difference between a beating in the 50s and a beating in the 90s. A beating in the 50s was a beating. In the 90s, maybe a parent might have grabbed you and shook you a little bit. Oh, hello, CPS. My parents are abusing me. We'll have the police right there. Yeah, they preach it in the school. If you're being abused at home, call, 1-800-999-KIDS or something. I know there's a magic, everything today is, like, 1-800-SAFE-LIGHT or my phone number, 1-800-GET-FUCKED. Yeah. There's a 800 or, number for everything, Your local CPS, 1-800 I'm being beat or something. Yeah, they preach it in the school. So the kids learn how to hold their parents hostage. And then, the attitude starts to form. And then they turn into these assholes that I watched on YouTube today. Like 40 videos. Body cams are a good invention. Because if a police officer would have just told the story, you wouldn't believe it because you would say, oh, Officer Smith is embellishing. Oh, no. No need for embellishment when you got the fucking body cam. Shows the kid flipping the officer off. Kiss my ass, pig! And the police officers, unfortunately, have to take this shit. It's sad. It makes me wonder why today someone would actually want to be in law enforcement, knowing that once they get out on the street, this is what they have to look forward to. Not, hello, Mr. Officer, like in my day. No, it's, fuck you, pig! And worse. Oh, that first video, I could not believe that 17-year-old girl pulled out pepper spray and had the gall to pepper spray both officers in the face. Oh, she was a good aim. She must have practiced. Oh, yeah. She whipped that container out of her pocket, blasted both of them, and took off. Although the officers were able to get her backpack with $400 worth of stolen makeup. And then eventually they got her. And then to make up a story, a fucking outright lie. Oh, the officers were manhandling me, slapping me around, punching me, kicking me. They didn't have a chance. Because they got fucking pepper sprayed before they could do anything. And then to lie to a detective. Oh, I pepper sprayed him because I was being manhandled. Thank God for body cameras. Because when they had her in the interrogation room, they played it. And then they asked her, where are you being beaten and kicked and manhandled here? Wait a minute. We'll run it back from the beginning. Now, I see the officer gently grabbing your wrist to stop you. Where is the beating? Because the video hasn't been edited. It's a direct download from his body camera after he left the hospital to get the pepper spray washed out of his eyes. Oh, yeah, we take them off and we dock them and they immediately upload. So, show me in the video where you're being beaten and kicked and slapped and manhandled. And you expect me to believe the rest of your story after this, when you told me a blatant, outright lie. Well, she refused to answer after that. Because she knew it was a blatant, outright lie. Oh, it sounded good. Oh, yeah, it sounded very convincing. Oh, yeah, the officers, they were manhandling me, beating me, kicking me, punching me. That's why I pepper sprayed them. No, the little fucking brat pepper sprayed him so that she could escape. And if she's done this once, I guarantee you she's done it before. You don't carry pepper spray and be able to aim direct at the face without either a lot of practice or doing it before. The shame of the matter is they don't follow up, because I would have loved to see the court case and what the outcome was. Although she probably got a little slap on the hands, 20 hours of community service and a year's probation. Well, that didn't mean fuck to her. I got probation. I got away with it. I'll do it again. Although this time I won't get caught. I'll buy a bigger can of pepper spray. And see, that's another thing. Our juvenile system fucking sucks. There was one kid from the age of 10 had 27 arrests from the age of 10. He was 17. 27 arrests. And every time they give him a little slap on the hand and he was out on the street. I think the longest sentence that he got was 30 days in juvenile. $27 arrests in 7 years. And each time, don't do that again, little Johnny. Okay, I won't. Matter of fact, one got arrested 3 hours after his court hearing. The court hearing was for petty theft. The arrest 3 hours after he got out of court was for carjacking and grand theft auto. He was 14. Yeah. Carjacked an old guy and stole his car. Age 14. And he got a fucking slap on the wrist. Because it don't mean shit to these kids. Because they know I'm going to get arrested, I'm going to get bonded out, and I'm going to get a slap on the wrist and be back on the street. That's why they don't give a fuck. That's why the crimes get worse and the attitude gets worse. Because they don't get any real punishment. And people, just remember, these laws are enacted by the senators and congressmen that you elect. Of course, when they're running for election, the bullshit just pours out of their mouth. Oh, I'm going to be tough on crime. And then as soon as they're sworn in, oh, what was that campaign promise? I can't remember. That's okay. No big deal. I lied through my teeth. I got elected. Fuck all them people that voted for me. I'll do it my way. Yeah. Politicians, when they want to be elected, oh, they're going to tell you everything you want to hear. I'm going to be tough on crime. We're going to put more police officers on the street. We're going to buy more new fire trucks, hire more EMTs. We want to protect society. And then as soon as they are sworn in, oh, we don't want to spend all that money. Buy new equipment? Yeah. Them fire trucks will last another 5-6 years. Put more police on the street? Oh, no. I'm getting paid off by a political action committee that wants to defund the police. I just told everybody what they wanted to hear. That's the way it is, pal. Believe me. I have yet to see a politician get into office and do what they told you they were going to do. I'm still waiting for our mayor to repair our streets. That was 4 years ago. Oh, they did one. One. 2 streets away from me. The street is so bad, it'll destroy your suspension. But they repaired one. Oh, they resurfaced it. Oh, they did a beautiful job. Oh, yeah. One. And it wasn't the bad one. No. The bad one is 2 streets over. And it's worse. The one that they repaired, that they resurfaced, it didn't need it. Matter of fact, when they started to tear the street up to resurface, I like, they're doing this one and that one over there is 10 times worse. Hello? I actually went up to the one city official that was doing the inspection. And I said, can I ask you a question? He said, yes, concerned citizen, go right ahead. Why are we resurfacing this street when the street 2 streets over you can't drive on? Oh, I can't answer that. Oh, is it a secret? I got a meeting. Nice talking with you, sir. Yeah, that's the way it was. When I pressed him for an answer, I got fucking blown off. Oh, I got a meeting. Sorry. Was nice talking to you, though. Yeah. The street that they resurfaced didn't need it. The street that needs it is 2 streets over. You can't drive on it unless you're in a tank. And that one got ignored. Of course, the mayor is like, well, we resurface that street for you. It's as smooth as glass. Yeah, you did the wrong fucking one. And you only did one. They didn't resurface any more streets in my ward. And the nasty one is getting nastier. Did they fix that one? Fuck no. And they brag. Oh, look at the job we did. Oh yeah, it is a beautiful job. They did the wrong street. But I guarantee about 6 months, before the next mayoral election, oh, that street will look, oh, they'll resurface that. It'll be smooth as glass. And then the mayor can say, oh, look at the street. Yeah, it only took you 4 years to do it, and 6 months before election. One street. That's all they did. Matter of fact, we have been bitching in this neighborhood for years about the traffic that ignores the shit out of the 2 stop signs. Everybody's like, we have to stop for them? People don't even fucking pause. And the other day, a school bus blew the stop sign. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the bus number because Grumpy would have called. But yeah, I had just backed into the driveway and I was shutting the truck off and the school bus just blew the stop sign. Now, had I been like 20 years younger, I could have sprinted down the driveway and up the street to get the bus number. But by the time my decrepit old ass got to the sidewalk, the bus was going around the corner. And of course, it wouldn't have done any good to call the school board, because the first thing they would have wanted was the bus number, which I couldn't get. Oh, it didn't even pause. Right through it. Like it didn't exist. And it's not like it's covered up or obscured by a tree branch. No, because Grumpy cuts the branches off the tree to keep the stop sign exposed. So it's not like the driver could say, oh, I didn't see it, it was covered up. Blew it. School bus. With kids. There were kids on the bus, and the driver blew the stop sign. Didn't even pause. Just... And you know what? I'm told when I call up and talk to the district commander, we're short-handed. We don't have enough cars to go around to sit and watch those 2 stop signs. Although Grumpy did find something out over the weekend. We don't need the police department to sit at those stop signs, because Grumpy could call and talk to the Highway Patrol. Yes, the Ohio State Troopers. The post is just like 2 miles away. I found out that if I make a call, they will at random, because they're sitting watching the school zone up the street. I found out that he can do a rotation. He can sit and watch our stop signs at rush hour, because I would tell them what times is the heavy traffic that blows the stop signs. And then he can leave the school zone and come down and sit on my stop signs, which the whole neighborhood would appreciate, because there's nothing neater than to get pulled over by a state trooper with that fancy straw hat. Yeah. You could slice bread with the crease in a state trooper's slacks. Oh, yes, they take pride in their uniform. And I'll tell you what, there's nothing that looks more impressive than when that trooper steps out of the cruiser and puts on the hat. Oh. So, Grumpy will be talking to the post commander of the Ohio State Patrol. And hopefully, we will see blue lights flashing a lot in the neighborhood. And see, as he exits the car, putting on that nice, impressive straw hat. Yes, they're made of straw. I have one. I was given one many years ago. I'll dig it out. And the reason it was given to me was one day a certain trooper who I knew forgot to remove it from the seat. Because when you get a citation, they have you sit in the front seat with them. Well, he forgot to remove his hat. And the woman sat on it. Yeah, I'll show you the crush marks. Yep. He forgot she wasn't paying attention and sat on his hat. Crushed it. I was able to straighten it somewhat. I'll show it to you. I keep it. Every now and then I put it on. Oh yeah. I have a Ohio State Trooper's straw hat. And a friend of mine sent me a helmet from the California Patrol. Yeah, I have a helmet from the California Highway Patrol. When he retired, he was allowed to keep it. And he knew at that time I was a biker. And he sent it to me with a note that said, "Oh, this will get you some respect." Because people don't notice anything except that police-designed helmet with the two-tone paint job. Because most bikers, they wear, that flat black. Not this one. I have it in the car. I'll bring it in one day. But the Ohio State Trooper's straw hat is out in the living room. I'll bring it into the studio. And I'll show you where it got crushed. Oh, he was pissed. She sat down and went, "Oh, I think I sat on something." And she got up and his poor hat was crushed. Yeah, I'm sure he sat there and went, "Oh, fuck." Because they only have one. It's not like they have a spare handy. And they ain't cheap. back in the day, and we're talking like the 80s, it was $150. That was big money back then. That came out of his pocket. Because you don't get a replacement when you write the report and go, left hat on seat, female sat on it. You buy your own. And then he gave it to me. And I fixed it. It took a while, but I'll show you the crush marks. I thought it was quite hilarious myself. I was like, you left it on the seat? Yeah. You didn't see it when you told her to get in the car? No, I wasn't paying attention. Until she went, oh, I think I sat on something. His straw hat. Oh. I loved it. I was glad he gave it to me. It's a funny story to tell. You know what happened to this state trooper's hat? He left it on the seat and a woman sat on it. I told him, I said, well, you're lucky. He goes, what do you mean I'm lucky? I said, well, your head could have been in the hat when she sat on it. He said, Grumpy, fuck off. I said, okay. I made my point, though. I'm glad we ended with a little bit of levity. It kind of raised my spirits because I was quite depressed watching the utter, disgusting disrespect of law enforcement by these teenage kids. I would have understood it if it would have been somebody in their late 20s, early 30s. No. These kids were between the age of 11 and 18. And some of the 11-year-olds, oh my God, they would have embarrassed a truck driver. Oh, there was this one 11-year-old, even the police officer asked his mother, where did he learn all that from? He said words I never even heard before. And his mother goes, well, it's the kids he hangs around with. I just slapped the shit out of the mother. What are you letting him hang around with kids like that for? You know he's learning this shit and you allow it? Shit, I'd have let the kid go and arrested the mother. Of course, that's Grumpy's way of thinking. That's mainly most senior citizens' way of thinking. Because we know how we were brought up. And I had even more respect because on one side of the family, we had two police officers, one being my mother's father, my grandfather. And on the other side of the family, I had three uncles that were firemen. So you learned respect for police and fire. And with me, it was drummed into me even more. I would always get, what would your grandfather think of you? Oh, But see, unfortunately, I never really got to know that grandfather really well. Because as soon as he retired to California. So I didn't have the camaraderie with him like I had with my father's father. Although I'm sure one grandpa would have competed against the other one, you know. Especially if I'd say, gee, Grandpa Miller bought me a bicycle. And then Grandpa would have went, I'll buy you two. Oh boy, I got 3 bikes now. Yeah, you know the story. In Grandpa's eyes, I could do no wrong. And I got spoiled rotten. But it didn't, it didn't make me like these kids today. Yes, I got spoiled. And I appreciated it. But I also learned respect and maintained respect for not only law enforcement, but for my elders. Because that was another thing that was preached to us back in my day. Respect your elders. Oh, God forbid you would start to argue with somebody. Oh! And that somebody dragged your ass home and told your parents, oh, he disrespected me. It would have taken a long time for all the swelling to go down for me to be able to be agile enough to ride a bicycle. But see, back in the day, that was allowed. Not today. Kids hold their parents hostage. Oh, Mom, I need a new iPhone 16 Pro Max. We can't afford it. Hello, CPS, I'm being abused. Okay, I'll get my credit card. We'll go up to, Davy Crockett Park, and we'll go to the Apple store. Yeah, hold our parents hostage. The threat of CPS, because the schools breach it. I don't know why they just don't come out and say, kids, write down this number and you can hold your parents hostage for anything you want. Yeah, it's preached in the schools at a young age. I could see some 6-year-old going, hello, CPS. My parents won't buy me a tricycle. We'll be right out. Oh boy. And then the kid got a deluxe tricycle. Oh yeah, streamers on the handlebars, a bell, a little honk horn, white walls, top of the line tricycle. Yeah. Thank God I'm not a parent of a young child, because I would be in prison for beating the fuck out of them. CPS or not. But that's the way it is today. Kids have just utter vile treatment of authority. And I'm saying authority because, like I say, I saw that one video of a kid beating the shit out of a teacher. And what made it worse, did any student come to the aid of the teacher? Oh no, they cheered him on. More, kick her, yeah, kick her again, punch her, kick her. Luckily, the school had a camera in the classroom that was high def because it captured every second of what that student did. And it was sad because the teacher ended up in the hospital for 3 weeks because she was kicked so much about the head and shoulders. She had a severe concoction. Thank God for cameras in the classrooms. That's all I got to say. And the school spent some money. They were 4K high def. But see, there's another one where you don't get the follow through. You don't know what the court system did or what the parents did. Possibly the parents didn't give a fuck. She opened her mouth to my kid. She got what she deserved. Disgusting. Utterly disgusting. And with that, Grumpy is going to sign off. And I hope everyone has a wonderful evening. And I'm going to do the playback and see how my intro music sounded in Studio B. See ya.